We are taking a look at Manor for the sixth time, and we start with Michael Beamer. Michael was an enterprising fellow. He started a factory at Manor in 1861, which was right around the time that the mine just to the west of Manor opened up, the Biddle mine. He was making handles for mine picks. There were a lot of mines around there then, but he also then branched out into other making handles for other kind of tools like axes and various things like hammers that you need, good sturdy handles on. This was his original shop where they started in the early 1860s. This is the view of that shop from looking more or less toward the east. Now we're going to see this building also, but not immediately. That older building proved to be not big enough, so they enlarged it. This is a color version. I like color. It seems to make everything better. Also, it shows the juxtaposition with the railroad, which it was. It was right connected. You see, this is Manor. This is the main line coming through. This is the Y, where the Manor Valley branch went up. And right in this area in here was where the factories, Beamer's handle factories were. That shows the newer factory, built in 1903. That's the more or less west branch of the Y there. And we're going to see this building over here. Also, that's on Race Street. This is Race Street. This is Observatory Street right here. This is the building that I told you we'd see, facing on Race Street. That's still here. Now there's a building across the street on the picture which is gone now, but I'll show you a picture of it. It was a hotel. Over the years it went by several names. At this time it was the Gressler Hotel. I like those second floor balconies, porches. Come out in the evening and sit there and kind of enjoy things. This is just context again, showing that's the building we were just looking at. And this is what was known at one time as the SOWASH building. We'll see that. This is Race Street coming down. Now, right across the street from that is now the American Legion. Once upon a time, back this way was the Altman Mill. There was a mill where they ground up grain right in town. That building is still there, and that's what it looks like. It's looking more or less north up Race Street. This is the family home of the SOWASH family. It's an old Model T sitting out front, up Observatory Street, right up above the store. This is Observatory Street, and this is the corner where the store was. Now down here is something we're going to see next. There was a distillery down here, a place where they were making whiskey. A couple of fellows named Mathias and Fry were in business down here, making whiskey from sour mash. No, actually it was sweet mash. We're going to be looking at the view from over this direction, and we'll see the buildings in a photograph. This is the view I was talking about. This is the distillery. That's the distillery up there, a larger picture. This large building here was their bonded warehouse. That's where they kept the liquor after it had been legally sealed and put in bond so that it could be legally sold as being a certain age. That's the distillery itself. That's a better picture of the whole complex. Actually, there's more that you don't see, but this is the distillery itself over here, with a water tank to give them water they could keep in reserve for when they were putting their brew together. Now here we're looking down at the scene from up in the air. This down here, down below Brush Creek, this is Brush Creek here, and the distillery was down this way below Brush Creek, on Brush Creek Road. I put this on so we could take a look at the railroad. You see how it comes through Manor? Definitely not straight. And with all these curves on the railroad, you would wonder why a train would thunder through there at 65 miles an hour. And they did. They went through there going 65 miles an hour and probably better at times. And it was not a good idea because stuff like this happened at times. Not the nice stuff. This is right out on the main line, right in Manor, where it happened one day that things went wrong. I mean, if the tracks are kept in good repair and the undercarriages of the trains are all in fine shape, well, there's no problem. But often, as the expression goes, it happens. This is just to give a indication of the strength and power that can destroy, a railroad car when those unfortunate collisions occur. This is one day after a collision, and the folks were coming out and looking at things. This was a waiting shanty beside the tracks going up the valley. This was a result of a very unfortunate head-on collision in 1936. Two of these monsters met head-on, and the end result of that stuff is not good. I hate to see a steam locomotive thrown over like this, because most often what happens is the boiler explodes, and if you still have human beings in the cab, it is definitely not good for them. Now, we've gotten to the end of this one, number 6. I'm not planning on doing another one, but depending on the amount of leftover stuff I have, I may or may not put together an addenda on Manor. We'll see about that. Anyhow, it's nice to have you along on the trip, and we'll see you again. So long for now. Bye.